Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm taking you along with our morning routine this morning. This is both me and Isaiah, just us solo at home. So I thought I would take you guys along and show you what we do. Each morning I try to get up between 5:30 and 5:40. First thing I have to do is make sure to let the dog out. She's been in the room all night, so she needs to go outside and go to the bathroom, all that usual stuff. Then I try to drink a big glass of water, take a prenatal. Even though I'm not pregnant or breastfeeding, I do take that just in case, because I'm not in control. You never know what's going to happen. Next, to move on to my hygiene, just the basics, brush the teeth, wash the face, all that kind of stuff. I really actually enjoy this time. There's just something about having clean teeth in the morning that just makes things go a lot smoother. So even if the boy is awake at this point, I still try and get this done, and if I have to, then I will go grab him. If he's still sleeping, then I get to move on to my quiet time. He was stirring a little bit, but thankfully he actually went back to sleep, so I got to continue my morning. I start off my quiet time by grabbing a glass of lemon water and apple cider vinegar. I just use the tap water as hot as I can get it, and that is my little morning drink. So I grab my cup and I take it over to the couch and I sit down and do my devotions for a little while. I find this time really important, and it definitely sets out how my day's going to be. If I don't get this time, I'm usually dealing with a lot more stress in the mornings. But if I have this time just to spend in the Word, it just really gives me a better outlook for the day. Next is breakfast prep. I also prep a smoothie for a snack later, but I try to get all this done just so that I don't have to be in the kitchen as much when the boy's awake. It makes it a lot smoother so that he's not at my feet as I'm trying to get anything done. So this smoothie, I have berries, bananas, and then basically a milk alternative. This morning I used coconut milk. And then just throw in some greens, some peanut butter, and then I put a little seed mixture that I use for hormone balancing on top and stick it back in the fridge. On to breakfast. We have eggs every morning, and I make sure to throw some vegetables in there. Today I'm throwing in some zucchini and spinach. I put spinach in every morning, but today I also decided to throw in some tomatoes. They're hit or miss with the boy. Sometimes he eats them, sometimes he doesn't. I like to have a variety in his diet and my diet, and I'm a huge veggie lover. This is just one way I find to be able to incorporate vegetables in our breakfast, is by throwing them in some eggs. I also made some zucchini carrot muffins, and I give him a little bit of that. And while I'm in the process of doing that, this is when Jeff usually leaves. He leaves about 6:30, so at that point we are on our own for the day. Once breakfast is prepped, I usually have to put the dishes away. I had a full dishwasher this morning, so it took some time to put that away. And then I pick out a book for the boys' devotion time too. And then I'm on to one of my favorite parts of the morning, my first cup of tea. I love tea, I drink a lot of it. My first cup is usually something black, so today it's an English breakfast. I don't add any cream or sugar, I just drink it plain, but there's just something about a nice hot cup in the morning. The boy is finally awake, so I'm going to use our special light bulb to lighten up the room slowly, kind of give him time to adjust. And then it's time to go in and get him. Right now he's still drinking his bottle in his crib, which is fine. Eventually we'll move out of the crib and onto a sippy cup, but for now he still has his breakfast bottle in his crib. And since he's in his crib, I usually take this time to do some cleaning in the bedroom. I like to open up the curtains and let some light in. I put on some music as I'm doing it just to give a nice little morning feel for the boy waking up. On to one of the first things that I have to do is I have to make my bed. It's just one of those things that my morning just doesn't feel right if my bed is a mess. The quilt on my bed is actually a quilt that me and my great-grandma made. I made all the squares on it, but then by the time I finished to get it all assembled, I was at the hospital giving birth, so I never got a time to assemble it, so she actually assembled it for me. So I love just being able to have that piece of, I guess, a family heirloom, you could call it. After he finishes his bottle, I'll give him a couple toys that he can play with while I finish getting the room ready before I get him out of his crib. Then I'll pick out his clothes and get him out of his sleep sack and get him ready for the day as well. And once he's all good and ready, we move out to the living room for his devotions. Grab a nice comfy blanket and we read his little Bible book together. We read different books every morning, but I just really like doing this time with him. And he loves books and they're his favorite, so I think he really enjoys this time as well. Next, we move on to laundry. I try and do a load every morning. My parents actually left their laundry in the dryer, so I had to take care of that. And in the process of doing that, I got shut out of the laundry room. This kid just loves playing with doors. And I finally got in. So now I'm getting my load started. Today I was just doing the boys' laundry for first load. I still keep his laundry separate. I still have some special detergent left for him. Eventually I'll combine our loads, but for now, I'm just using up that detergent while we have it. He is fascinated by watching the laundry spin around, so he's already trying to watch it before it even starts. Which is good. I'm planning on using this later when he needs to start doing his own laundry. Now finishing up breakfast, basically had it all prepped. Now I'm just assembling it and cooking the eggs. This takes maybe 5-10 minutes and the boy's usually either playing in the kitchen or playing in the living room as I'm doing this. We like to pray before we eat in the morning and also throughout the day. It's just one of the things we like to do to make sure that we are mindful of, you know, who our provider is and to be thankful for what he has given. And then I usually sit down and eat with him. I'll have a small little breakfast right here. The boy just eats better when he's got company, so I always try to make sure to have at least something when he's eating. When he goes down for his first nap, that's when I'll usually have my smoothie. And he is a good eater. He loves his breakfast. On to cleanup. This is not his favorite time, but I usually try to make it fun, as whether singing or goofing off with him as much as I can. I really quickly clean up our dishes and his high chair, and then we move on for the morning. And I get my next cup of tea brewing. Then we go back to the bedroom and I get the boy dressed and we get ready to go on our walk. I can only take 2 dogs at a time, so Miss Luna actually has to stay behind unless my dad is going with us. So she gets to go back in her room and have a treat while I get the other dogs ready. I love going for our morning walk. There's just something about it, that being outside in the fresh air. The boy loves it too. He's always calm on the walks. I never have any worries about him freaking out. And the dogs desperately need it. If they don't get it, the house gets destroyed. And then 3 days out of the week, I clean the floor. Having 3 huskies, it gets really dirty really quick. So today is one of those days where I'm sweeping and mopping the kitchen and then vacuuming the living area and also our bedroom. Gotta get up all that dog hair, especially with the boy crawling and walking everywhere. Try to get him to, you know, eat as little hair as possible. And this is why I have to vacuum every other day. The boy loves following the vacuum around. I just have to be really diligent with him in the cord because he wants to grab the cord and play with it. But as long as I'm diligent with that, he mostly just follows me around. Then I move on to blowing off the back porch and the front entryway, trying to keep as little stuff coming in the house as possible so that the floor stays cleaner. At this point, I put the boy in his playpen with some books and some toys so that I can be outside and not have to worry about where he is. Once the cleaning's all done, I get to move on to a little bit of a workout. This is just a 10-minute workout on YouTube that I try and do, and as you can see, I have a lovely helper while I do it. He actually thinks it's a lot of fun, usually ends up giggling and stuff while he's all over me. And I still manage to get the workout in, so I'll take what I can get. At this point, he is getting tired, so we are going to wind down and get ready for bed. So we have another diaper change, and again, he just loves reading his books while he's getting his diaper changed. After I get him changed, I just do some stretching on the floor while we hang out in the bedroom, and he just winds down getting ready for bed. At this point, he is drumming on the trash can, and then we will move on to just reading some books and basically just having some mellow time before he goes for his nap. Reading books is one of his favorite things to do, and I absolutely love books as well, so I really enjoy that we get to do that on a regular basis. We usually read before every nap. We also read a couple bedtime books before he goes down for the night. I always try to take this time to spend with him and just looking through books whether we're actually reading it or not. Once we're done reading, it's time to put him in his crib and in his sleep sack, get the room all dark, and turn on his sound machine so that he can take his nice nap. After I put him down for his nap, I usually make my smoothie and then drink it while editing. So at this point, that's the end of our morning routine. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed just seeing what we do.